Okay, good afternoon to student. Sorry for the delay start due to some departmental work. This delay will be happen. Okay. As we discussed in the morning session, the elastic deformation and the plastic deformation. Elastic deformation as well as the plastic deformation. So elastic deformation when the load is removed, when the load is removed, material regain its original position. Material regain its original position. Okay, so and for the plastic deformation, what happened? In the plastic deformation, when we remove the external load, when we remove the external load, material doesn't get its original position. So I told you all the two process, hard working and cold working, both are the belongs to the plastic deformation process. Means we have to get the new product with the help of plastic deformation, with the help of plastic deformation. Okay, so the next things, again we come the stress strain diagram, because this stress strain diagram is help of all the problem related the strength of material. Okay, so again we come here, you can see this is the plastic region and this is the elastic region. So we talk about the plastic region, and this is the plastic region 2 3. Okay, 2 2 3, see here, 2 2 3. This is the curve represent for the plastic deformation. Okay, now strain hardening. What is the strain hardening now? If the material is loaded again from point 4, the curve will follow back to the point 3 within the same elastic module shape. The material now has a heavier yield strength of the point 4. Rising the yield strength by the permanently straining the material is called the strain hardening. So see here, this is the definition of strain hardening. Or if anyone asks you what is the strain hardening, it is rising the yield strength by permanently straining the material is called the strain hardening. What the meaning of that? The increment of the yield strength by permanent deformation or permanent straining. The material is called the strain hardening, and this is your strain hardening area. Strain hardening area here, where neck formation is generated. Where neck formation is generated now. So what we can say, what we can say that next things is the tensile strength. The largest value of the stress on the diagram is called the tensile stress TS, or ultimate tensile stress. So at the point 3, whatever the largest stress value we get, that is called the tensile stress or the ultimate tensile stress. Tensile stress or the ultimate tensile stress. Okay, so here we can say that it is the maximum stress which the material can support without breaking. Okay, now come to the fracture. If the material is stretched beyond the point 3, stress decrease as making and non-uniform deformation. So increase the load or stretch the the stress decrease as making and non-uniform deformation will be occurred and the material reach at point 5 where fracture will be occurred. Now see, you can easily see here, you can easily see this is the fracture point. This is the fracture point. Point number 5 is the fracture stress strain 836 steel. 826 steel type and 836 is the grading and we started in the machine, universal testing machine. So what happens? See, this line here to here, this line here to here is a straight line, vertically straight line. And here is the value 0, 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, and the yielding point between the 6000 to 5000. The yielding point between the 5000 to 6000. This is the stress value. Okay. Now here you can see this is the upper end point, this is the lower end point. Now strain ordering is here and this point at this point you get the ultimate strength of the material. Okay, and making the fracture point. This is your fracture point. Okay, so this diagram means the specimen of 836 steel. 836 steel. Now, material property. So these material property you already studied. Some student may be absenting the lecture, so that's why I totally revised the unit. I totally revised the unit. Okay. So characteristics of the material are described as the strength, hardness, ductility, brittleness, toughness. Means these are the important mechanical property which is we need it for any analysis or when we going to manufacturing any component by the material. So these property is needed for manufacturing purpose. So one by one we go through that strength. How we measure the strength? Measure of the material property to resist deformation and to maintain the shape. That is the strength. Okay. So what is the measure of the material property to resist the deformation and maintaining the shape? That is called the strength. Okay. So that those mechanical property which is resist the deformation, resist the deformation and maintaining the its original shape. That is called the strength. It quantified in the term of yield stress, sigma y, or ultimate tensile strength, sigma QLT. Okay, ultimate tensile strength. Okay, so high carbon steel and metal alloy having the higher strength than pure material. Okay, means what we can say here, here you can say high carbon means high carbon, the carbon percentage is more than other steel. The carbon percentage is more in compared to other steel, high carbon steel. And metal alloy means जैसे like aluminum alloy, aluminum है low strength but aluminum alloy है more strength. So if we want to increase the strength, then we have mix some alloy with the pure material, higher strength for the same material. Ceramic also exists with higher strength characteristics, means ceramic get the higher strength. Okay, so here hardness. What is the hardness? Measure of the material property to resist intense tension, abrasion, and wear. Means the material property which is resist the intense tension are wearing and tearing. Okay, means like like your mobile screen guard. Okay, what if the mobile screen guard is harder? You paste that screen guard on your mobile face to protect your face from the scratches. So that particular glass is so much hard. So its property is to reduce or resist the whatever the scratches by your hand, pen, or any tiny point if rough over the screen guard, then scratches is not produced. So property by which we resist the scratching or material resist the scratching, tension, and wearing. Okay, it is quantified by the hardness scale such as the Rockwell and Brinell hardness scale, that is measure intention under a rod. Hardness and strength correlate well because both properties are related to intermolecular bonding. Okay, means strength and hardening is totally depend on the intermolecular bonding. Means if the material intermolecular bonding is higher, then we get strong material as well as hardness proof material. Okay, a high strength material is typically resist to wear and abortion. See here, now you can see the Brenner Hall list number for different material. Pure aluminum has a low number, only 15. Pure carbon, copper 35. Mild steel. Now you see here, mild steel is the alloy steel, not a pure steel. So the hardness value is increased. And these are the pure aluminum and pure copper. The hardness value is very less. Now 306 stainless steel. See, hardness value again increase because this is the alloy. Hardened tool steel. See, 365 to 70 means we increase the hardness. Hard carbide plate 1000. Carbide chromium carbide 12,000, sorry 1200. Tungsten carbide 1400. Titanium carbide 2400. Diamond 8000. Wood hardest material 8,000. And sand, that is the 1,000. Okay, so you can see what is the Brinell hardness number for the diamond? 8,000. So in this table, the hardest material is diamond because its Brinell hardness number is very high. Now, ductility. What do you mean by ductility? Measure of the material property to define before fracture or failure. Measure of the property to deform before the fracture. What the meaning of that? The meaning of that, how much maximum deformation a component, a material is maximum, how much they deform before the fracture. Means फ्रैक्चर के पहले जितना ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मटेरियल डिफॉर्म हो जाता है फ्रैक्चर बिफोर फ्रैक्चर, दैट इज कॉल्ड द डक्टिलिटी. ओके, दैट इज कॉल्ड डक्टिलिटी. व्हाट इज दैट मीनिंग? सो जितना क्या कहते हैं कि आपका जैसे डक्टाइल मटेरियल क्या रहते हैं, जैसे आपका एल्युमिनियम हो गया, गोल्ड हो गया, जिनको हम कहते हैं कि सीट फॉर्म में इजीली कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. मटेरियल विच इजीली कन्वर्ट इन द सीट फॉर्म. जितनी थिन प्लेट हम किसी भी मटेरियल की क्रिएट कर सकते हैं वो उतना ही ज़्यादा डक्टाइल रहता है. ओके, सो लाइक हम थिनेस किसका बनते हैं, जैसे वर्क रहता है आपका, आपने देखा होगा मिठाइयों में सिल्वर वर्क रहता है और क्या कहते हैं कि गोल्ड वर्क रहता है, कितना पतला रहता है, मतलब अगर आपने टच किया तो वो ब्रेक हो जाता है, लेकिन आपके टच करने से पहले वो ब्रेक नहीं होता है. मीन्स वो कितना थिन, आप किसी मटेरियल को जितना थिनेस्ट शीट में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, दैट इज द मोर डक्टाइल. सो gold is the gold and silver is the most ductile material. तो उनको हम कितने भी थिन फॉर्म में कर सकते हैं. अभी इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल वी मेक स्टील एंड एल्युमिनियम एज थिन एज गोल्ड एंड सिल्वर. ओके, तो लगते हैं कि सिल्वर फाइल और गोल्ड फाइल किधर लगती है आपकी मिठाइयों में लगती है, क्योंकि ये हमारी बॉडी को बहुत हेल्थी बनाते हैं, है ना. इसलिए गोल्ड फाइल या फिर सिल्वर फाइल आपके मिठाइयों में लगे होते हैं, स्वीट्स में लगे रहते हैं. ओके, इट इज क्वांटिटेटिव बाय द रीडिंग द वैल्यू ऑफ द स्ट्रेन एट द फ्रैक्चर पॉइंट on the stress strain curve. Ductile material can be pulled or blown into the pipe, wire, and other structural shape. For example of ductile material, low carbon steel, aluminum, copper, brass. Okay, brittleness. What is brittleness? Measure of the material inability to deform before the fracture. Measure of the material inability to deform before the fracture. इसका क्या मीनिंग हुआ? द मीनिंग इज दैट कि फ्रैक्चर होने से पहले ये कितना कम से कम डिफॉर्म होते हैं, यानी इनका डिफॉर्मेशन फ्रैक्चर होने से पहले कितना कम से कम होता है. जबकि डक्टाइल क्या होता है कि फ्रैक्चर होने से पहले जितना ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा डिफॉर्म हो सकते हैं वो डक्टिलिटी है. और ब्रिटलनेस क्या है कि फ्रैक्चर होने से पहले जितना कम से कम डिफॉर्म होंगे वो उतना ज़्यादा ब्रिटल है ना. मीन्स लोएस्ट डक्टिलिटी इज द हाईएस्ट हार्डनेस, सॉरी हाईएस्ट ब्रिटलनेस. अगर किसी मटेरियल की डक्टिलिटी लोएस्ट है देन उसका ब्रिटलनेस हाईएस्ट होगा. दिस डक्टिलिटी एंड ब्रिटलनेस इज अपोजिट टू ईच अदर. अगर किसी की ब्रिटलनेस बहुत हाई है देन द मीनिंग इज दैट द डक्टिलिटी ऑफ दैट मटेरियल इज वेरी लो. If किसी की ductility is very high, then that material should have very less brittleness. Okay. See, this graph, this blue graph is represented as the ductile material, and this red graph is shown as the brittle material. So, what do you see? The ductile material have more strain value in comparison to The strain value should like this. Here, this much the strain value. See here, this much the strain value is here, and this is the ductile. The strain value in ductile material is very high in comparison to brittle material. Toughness. So now we come at the point toughness. Measure of material ability to absorb energy. Absorb the energy material that absorb energy. Absorption of energy means we apply the load and the deformation is very less. The deformation is very less. Okay. It's measured by two methods. Integration of the stress strain curve, slow absorption of energy, absorbed energy per unit volume, unit lb per inch or newton per inch square. Okay, inch by inch into. So what is the unit of this absorbed energy? See here, on inch per inch cube, or we can say that inch, sorry, pound per inch square or newton per meter square. Okay, and for the from the Charpy test, ability to absorb energy and impact without fracturing means how we measure the. So that is the one form is integrated or strain curve, or we go for the impact testing by the Charpy impact. The toughness means what is the impact strength absorbed by the material without fracture. That is called the toughness. Okay. See here, that is the equipment for the Charpy test. Equipment of the Charpy test. So here we put the material like see here, and this is the V notch we made on the specimen, and here is a hammer. See, here is a hammer. This is a hammer. So what happened? We lift the hammer till a particular position. See here, this is there is scale. So we see the and we left the hammer. So due to the gravitational force and different between edge, this is the edge and this is the edge dash. Okay. So different between edge is the causes the more impact force. If this edge is higher, then impact force is high because this impact force is totally depend on the height. Okay, because this impact force is depend on the height and gravitational force. So if the gravitational force is the constant, g is the small g is the constant. So what is the variable? Variable is the height. So the impact force is totally depend on the height. Whatever the height, if we increase the height, the impact forcing is in the end. Now this is the end of swing. Okay, and there is an anvil and we put here. So the hammer impact on the particular specimen and we find out the strength. Now, Charpy V notch test. Charpy test is an impact toughness measurement test because the energy is absorbed by the specimen very rapidly. The potential energy of the pendulum before and after impact can be calculated from the initial and final location of the pendulum. Okay, the potential energy difference is the energy it took to break the material absorbed during the impact. Purpose is to evaluate the impact toughness as the function of temperature. Okay, so what happened? As you see, there is a test. This is the test equipment. So this is the text procedure. Whatever this procedure, I already explained. Whatever my explanation, that is the in form of the text. Okay. Now see what behavior in the form of impact test, Charpy test, brittle and ductile. So we get the different type of behavior for brittle material and ductile material. So Charpy toughness and temperature. So you can see that here the toughness of brittle material is very low as compared to ductile material. Okay, so if we have the ductile material, so if we have the ductile material, then ductile material will has a higher impact strength than the brittle material. So we can easily say that if material is enough ductile, then the material is enough tough too. Okay, at low temperature where the material is brittle and not strong. See here what this graph is represented, that same things is right here. At the low temperature where the material is brittle and not strong, little energy is required to fracture the material. At high temperature where the material is more ductile, if we increase the temperature, then material become more ductile in comparison to cold. So material show the higher strength or higher toughness. Okay, greater energy required to fracture the material. The transition temperature is the boundary between the brittle and ductile behavior. See this dotted line, transmission temperature. Okay, the transition temperature is the boundary between brittle and ductile behavior. The transition temperature is an extremely important parameter in selection of construction of material. So here, two different type of material give the different curve for the impact Charpy or the not Charpy test, Charpy V naught test or Charpy impact test, that are the same. So this is for the high carbon steel. The graph between the impact energy and the temperature. So see where the temperature is low means minus 200 degree and minus 100 degree. So see minus 100 degree to 0. So what happened here? The impact energy is very low when the temperature is low. Okay, so what happened? However, the temperature is increased, the impact energy is also increases. But what happened in the case of stainless steel, high carbon steel and here stainless steel? What happened? See the stainless steel diagram. Minus 200 degree, it have a Charpy impact energy between 150 to 200. But at the minus 200 degree temperature, the Charpy impact energy only 5 for the in case of high carbon steel. Okay, so in the stainless steel, we can observe that easily observe that there is not much more effect of temperature in the stainless steel in absorption of the energy. But in the high carbon steel, what happens? If temperature, we increase the temperature, then toughness of the material is increased. Means ductility of material is increased. Okay, so if we compare high carbon steel HCS and stainless steel, then we get the a linear line in comparison to the high carbon steel for the Charpy impact test. Now fatigue. What is the fatigue? The repeated application of stress typically produced by an oscillating load such as vibration. Okay, so the fatigue is repeated application at the vibration. Source of the slip vibration are engine, propeller shaft and blades. Maximum stress decrease as the number of loading cycle increase. So see here, this is this diagram between the stress and number of cycle, fatigue failure, aluminum and steel. So what happened? See, blue is the line of aluminum. So what happened? You can see if number of cycle is less, then stress is higher. Number of cycle is less, then stress is higher. Means what happen? If the repetitive load application is low, in number is low, then what happen? Stress is good, our strength is good. If the repetitive cycle is increased, then what happens? Strength is very low at the zero for the aluminum. Means how you can take the, you take aluminum wire and make, you fix the wire in a fixed support and you move up and down from a particular point. So within few seconds, aluminum wire is break. Aluminum wire is break because of cyclic loading. So many material is there which is enough good for the impact testing, enough good in the tensile and enough good in the compression, but they are fail in cyclic loading. So cyclic loading is the different case. And here you can see there is a comparison between two materials, aluminum and steel, where steel give us a better performance in comparison to aluminum, in comparison to aluminum. So this is the endurance limit. This dotted line is the endurance limit, and the point where the stress where we get this endurance limit, that called the endurance strength. Okay, a certain threshold stress where will not causes the fatigue failure for the number of cycle. Okay, okay, so we get aluminum has no endurance limit. Aluminum has no endurance limit, but still have a endurance limit. See, because the steel doesn't go down to the endurance limit. Okay, so steel have endurance limit, but aluminum has no endurance limit. Okay, factors affecting material property. So temperature, if temperature is increased, then what happens? If temperature is increased, then what happens? See, decreased modulus of elasticity means whatever the modulus of velocity value in the normal temperature, if we increase the temperature of the material, then the elastic decrease due to the elastic modulus decrease as long as the structure does not change. Okay, decrease in yield strength, decrease in ultimate strength, decrease in hardness, decrease in ductility, decrease in brittleness. Okay, so if we increase the temperature of any component or any material, then these property, whatever the value of these property, that is reduced. Okay, now environment, sulfate, chlorine, oxygen in the water, radiation and pressure. So these are the environment which is affect the mechanical property of the material. Way to affect alter material property, alloying means first how we increase the mechanical property like strength, hardness. So alloying means additional material we add some additional material element for molecular property like steel, carbon steel, chromium steel, molybdenum, nickel, tungsten and manganese. For the steel, these component will be added or these material should be added here. Aluminium, copper, magnesium, silicon, zinc and manganese. Okay, so we add aluminium. In the aluminium, we add these materials for increasing their are protecting from environment and temperature. Thermal treatment or heat treatment. Application of the heat over the wearing time. Annealing is the process, heat treatment process. Thermal treatment is nothing but it is the heat treatment. Heating higher than its critical temperature, then cooling slowly. Means the cooling process is slow. Improve hardness, strength, and ductility. Slips, hooks are annealing. Okay. What is the hardening? Heating higher than its critical temperature, then cool rapidly. Means we can cool the material very fast, rapid action. Okay, it's improve hardness, increase internal stresses may causes the cracking. Okay, if the drawback of the hardening process, what happen if we going to decrease the temperature very fast, then what happen, the cracking is take place, the surface is very hard but cracking may be occur. Okay, now tempering steel is heating below the critical temperature and cooled slowly, used with the hardening to reduce the internal stresses. Okay, hot working, cold working, whatever I told you. Forming of the shape while material is hot, forming of the shape while material is cold. Okay, so that is the things. So this is the all the things about the today lecture. So students,